Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our Walk with a Doc event for September. We love doing these events. We join every second Sunday of the month, and it's a really great way to get together with a pediatrician that's local or a pediatric specialist, and we give talks on various health topics in pediatrics, and then you can ask any questions from us that you'd like. We've been doing this for over 5 years now. Right now we're joining at Mount Charleston, kind of escape the heat from the valley. And we also help coordinate the event for the Reno community as well. So today we are really excited to introduce Dr. William Downey. He is a board certified pediatrician here in the Valley. He is a member of the American Academy of Pediatrics, and he's a founding partner of Desert Valley Pediatrics. So his passions lie in promoting healthy living and fitness for his patients, and he'll be talking to us about healthy, active living in our families. So, Dr. Downey?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Come closer. Come closer. I don't want to be here all alone. Come in a little bit. Before we get started, I think it's only appropriate on September 11th that we pause for a moment of silence and reflection. Thank you very much. It's really good to see everybody here today, young and old. My brother is here. He just showed up. All righty. So we're going to talk about being healthy. The reason we want to talk about being healthy is because there's lots of kids and adults that carry too much weight, and we don't want to get to that point. We want to develop a plan for kids to be healthy, get off on a good start, and never have to worry about those issues down the road. So how do we do that? We're going to talk about 5-2-1-0. Any of you kids heard about that? No? So, if you don't take away anything else from this talk today, remember this: 5 fruits and vegetables every day, only 2 hours of electronics if you have to play, an hour of exercise to keep that body strong, and 0 sugary drinks, because that's just wrong. So you remember that if you don't remember anything else. Okay? So, parents, do not dictate to your kids. Educate, elucidate. If you try to tell your kids what to do, we know the result. If you have food battles with your kids, you're not going to win, right? They're going to win. So what do? Engage them. Kids are stubborn, but they're also very impressionable, right? So what do? You go to the grocery store and you take them with you. You go down those produce sections and you tell them, look at all these beautiful colors of the rainbow. You get to pick one out. And when they pick it out, you go home and you say, you are going to help me prepare this beautiful vegetable that you picked out. So you engage them in that. And if you want to take it a step further, and you have the land, and you have the time, and while there's still water in Lake Mead, you can plant a garden. Can you imagine how your kids will be engaged and how much they'll buy into this if they're in the process the whole time? They plant the seeds, they grow the vegetables, they pick the vegetables, they get to make the meals. That's how you do it. So, and parents, we do not want you to cover those vegetables and make them look like a snow-capped mountain. We don't want cheese sauce, ranch dressing all over them. That kind of defeats the purpose, right? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So you let them help prepare the food, and you eat dinner as a family. I know nowadays everybody's busy, but dinner may be the only time when the family comes together. And it should be fun. Don't sit there and tell your kids, eat your fruits and veggies, you need to lose weight, all that. No. Make dinner a pleasant time. You want them to enjoy it. You want them to come to dinner. So you make it pleasant. And you talk about things. And again, that might be the only time your family gets together. So, and you don't have to have dessert every night either. Make it a treat once in a while. And it doesn't have to be a big piece of cake. It can be some fruit. So keep that in mind. And keep those doctor's appointments. You go to the doctor. We like to talk a lot. We like to show you the growth charts. We want you to see that you're growing in the right trajectory. You're growing tall. You're getting strong and big and healthy. So those appointments are very, very important. Okay. Electronics. No more than 2 hours of electronics. But you don't have to have any, right? Nobody, it's not vitamin E. You don't have to have electronics. But if you have it, monitor your kids. Know what they're watching. Don't just have them watching reruns of the Jerry Springer show on the iPad. That's no good. And kids under 2, they really shouldn't even have electronics. They're going to get more of that stuff than they ever need if you don't give them any. I guarantee you. And when you do start having electronics, use it to your advantage. Educational things, age-appropriate things for your kids. Another reason to minimize electronics, I want to mention this. All the advertising. They're always trying to get kids to buy stuff. You ever notice how a new movie comes out, a Disney movie comes out, and there's a toy associated with the movie, but you can only get it if you go to your favorite fast food restaurant. So there's so much advertising for kids, they get bombarded with that stuff. They don't need it. Okay. An hour of exercise, right? Organized sports are great. A lot of kids play them. But you don't have to play organized sports. You can do simple things with your kids. Ride your bike. Go for walks. Come to Mount Charleston and go for a lovely hike. All these things you can do with your kids. And while you're with them, you can educate them. You can point out all the little plants, the animal droppings that we learned about last month. All those things we can do. We're reinforcing good habits and they're having fun. All these things have to be fun. Now I know in Las Vegas, it's hot in the summertime and finding things for your kids to do can be very, very challenging. But if you can't do anything else, turn on your favorite music and dance in your living room. Kids love to dance. You can go to gyms. A lot of the gyms, commercial gyms, they have programs for kids in the summertime. And of course, swimming is very popular in Las Vegas. And last month, we had a good talk by Dr. Hidaji, and she told us how we could do it safely. So there's lots of things we can do. We just have to be a little bit creative. And the last thing, who remembers the 0? Anybody? Yes, ma'am.
No sugary drinks.
Thank you very much. No sugary drinks. The kids that come to my office, they hear me say all the time, the only difference between soda and fruit juice, one fizzes and one doesn't. That's about the only difference. They're both loaded with sugar. Just drink water and maybe a glass of milk with dinner. Your kids just need water. So how much should they drink? Preschool kids, about 1 liter a day, give or take a little bit. School age kids, about 2 liters. Adolescents, at least 3 liters. And of course more if you're doing physical activities. Now, some people say, well, what about the sports drinks? They really have a limited role. They're okay if you're doing a lot of sweating, then it replaces the minerals. But for most kids, they just need water. They just need water. Okay. And then, how do you know you're well hydrated? Well, I like to say, if it looks the same going out as it did coming in, then you're probably pretty well hydrated. If it's dark, you probably need some more water. All right. So, I think those are the only points I wanted to make. But let me look at my other page here. Oh, just a reminder for everybody, be a role model for your kids. Your kids love you. They will do what you do, good or bad. So I think I'm going to stop there because the point of being out here is not for me to talk, it's for us to go and walk. So with that, I'll entertain any questions.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Dr. Downey, do you recommend only the kids are eating healthy or the whole family is eating the same way?
That's a good point, because if, as a parent, you just target your kids, you pick on them. Do it all together. So if your kid needs to eat better, be a role model, be an example. You eat better. That's what I was talking about. You do it as a family. Absolutely. It always works better when you do it as a family. So other questions? Yes, sir. That's right. And again, you don't even have to have dessert. And it all depends. I got to tell you guys a funny story. I have a grandson, and his father is a fitness freak. And I don't think my grandson's ever seen 1 gram of sugar in his life. When he has a birthday, I don't know what the birthday cake is made out of, but I'm sure I wouldn't eat it. And if he does not get his little green drink, he has a tantrum if he doesn't get his green drink. I'm not saying you got to take it that far, but it just goes to show you the influence that you as parents can have over your children.
Anyone else? Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for coming out.